we had we got back from the DIII Championships, and the athletes went straight into final exams. We weren't practicing during finals. Obviously, I think they were doing some workouts on their own, but for the most part, we got back together Friday and Saturday after finals. Obviously, that was also graduation weekend, so it was a little bit disturbed. And then we're able to sort of reconvene the entire group on Monday. So we had about 8 days almost totally off. And really what we were trying to do from that point is we had 2 weeks pretty uninterrupted training. We kind of rebuilt the aerobic base a little bit. We were trying to do a fair amount of training volume. We've been tapering into conference and into WIRA, so it's sort of like get back to the routine of training and build the volume back up. And then last week we started building the intensity back up again. So we were able to do that fairly effectively. I think there were about 3 or 4 days before they started feeling good in training, which was fine. And then, we basically took that intensity all the way through about Thursday of last week, and then stepped down again, started cutting out some of the volume, and yeah, the speed's been coming back, and I think they're still a little sore, a little tired, but this week will be pretty easy, and just doing some short rows, getting ready for racing. It's really gratifying, and I think certainly the formal announcements are a really good time. Like there is a regional representation quotient, so we knew that the West Coast was going to get a team. We knew we were the fastest team in the West, but then certainly for the athletes, I think, getting to see the show, see some of the media attention, see some of the video, they were pretty stoked on that. I think for us, we'd set some goals as a program to try to get to the NCAA Championships and perhaps be on the podium in 5 years. That's a long-term goal for us. And I think we knew we had an opportunity this year. I think until March, we hadn't realized how immediate it was going to be, and I think it's a little ahead of schedule on our goal, but I think for us that's a great thing. Like, it's an awesome opportunity with a relatively young group that we're only losing 4 to graduation, to know that we will have this experience and they'll be able to see the level of competition that we're racing against and kind of know what the future could hold for them. There'll be athletes who do row for national teams all over the world there in the Division I group. I think part of it's trying to have a fun. And with the experience, we were saying to the athletes, there's a lot of distractions at an NCAA championship. They do just as much pomp and circumstance as about it's possible to put onto a regatta. But in the end, it's 9 people in a boat. You line up at the start, you race to the finish. It's exactly the same whether you're doing that at an early season race in March or you're doing it at the NCAAs. So I think the main thing is trying to just have good conversations and instead of being intimidating, take it as an inspirational opportunity. I mean, it is phenomenal to be at that regatta and see the level of the top collegiate teams. It's a really cool experience. And one of the things that's fun is that the Division III racing is done on Saturday. We race Friday and Saturday. And then we get to go back to the course on Sunday and watch the Division I finals, which is, it's fabulous. It's like you get to see, I think that most people would say it's the top women's racing outside of the Olympics or the World Championships. So it's a phenomenal regatta to be at. Fundamentally, our goal is the same, whether it's going to WIRA, going to conference, going to NCAAs, which is to race our best pieces on that day, right? It's like we can only control what we can control. There is no offense and defense in rowing. There is only what you do within your boat. So I think for us, it's just trying to stay very internally focused and to acknowledge the fact that we're going into a higher level of competition and know that those teams back east are fast. But I think also to know that we earned that spot, and to know that there are teams that I think we can race. And I think just seeing if we can put together 3 pretty complete races on Friday and Saturday and come away feeling like they gave their all on that day, wherever we end up, placement-wise.